So I know that we're getting a little bit later into the year, but I thought it was about time that I told you how my 2025 knitting goals went and how I translated them into my 2026 knitting goals. So I hope you don't mind, and we're going to talk about some knitting goals. Hello, welcome back to the Knit Life Oils YouTube channel. Okay, so I know that we are several weeks into the year at this point. But I've been meaning to talk to you guys about my knitting goals, and so I thought that it was kind of a good week to do that. So I have always been one that I don't really like making knitting goals like finish all my whips or things like that. I will frog all my whips, usually the last week of the year. I don't know why that's when I do it, but that's when I do it. Or like use all my stash or things like that. I've always been kind of the belief that I let my knitting like kind of lead. So like wherever it kind of takes me. And so I like to not limit that. I try to really set goals, specifically for my knitting that allow me to do that, allow me to still like have that so I don't feel restricted. I found that like the more restricted I feel or the more decisions I have to make, like then that impedes on my creative knitting time. So in 2025, I had two knitting goals. One was knit for 15 minutes every day, and the other was inspirational skeins. So let me tell you a little bit more about those. So I really noticed that when I knit for 15 minutes every day, like the consistency of knowing that I'm going to get that every single day really does a lot for my mental health and really helps me. So, I wanted to try and do that every day in 2025. I also made these really cute trackers and I was really excited to use them, but I don't have a printer. And so that became kind of a problem, and I just never printed them out. And so it was really hard for me to track. I think I did it most days. I also noticed that it's really hard for me if I miss one day to kind of like say that that's okay and just kind of keep going. My brain doesn't do that very easily. And so that became kind of an issue. Like if you miss one day, like did that ruin the whole year? No, it should not, by the way. Let me tell my own brain that. And so then the other goal was, it was kind of to knit 12 inspirational skeins, for one for each month. But it was really kind of cool because when I started looking at skeins as inspirational, like how do these inspire me to make something with them? It really kind of changed my whole mindset about like how I look at yarn and how I shop for yarn. Like when I'm out at festivals or even ordering yarn online, things like that. Like, is this inspirational to me? Does it make me want to make something? And that was more than I could have ever asked for that goal. So I used like one or two of the skeins, but really it kind of became my mascot for the year. And I have one separate section in my stash for inspirational skeins that I just get to look at all the time. And it just keeps me inspired all the time. And so that was really cool. And it was a side effect of that goal that I did not anticipate at all. So, I really did not feel like I was done with either one of these goals. So I'm kind of bringing them both with me into 2026, but I am modifying them a little bit based on what worked or what didn't work last year. So these are my knitting trackers, and my sister has gotten really into the library lately, and so we actually get to print things now. Isn't it cool? Anyway, so I have the first few months of the year, and then I'll go back and print the rest. But I am really loving getting to actually color them in. So I have markers that sit next to them, and I already did, and this is the next thing, ready? So I did miss one day. I was really tired, and I just was running all day, and by the time I got home, it was like 11:30, and it just wasn't happening. I was going to bed. So I really want to like focus on giving myself grace. Like if maybe that's missing one day a month or something like that. I think that really needs to be a part of this goal, because the whole point was to know the consistency and to help my mental health, which it does not help my mental health if I am stressing about the fact that I missed one day. So yeah, if you want to do these trackers too, I'm going to put the link in the caption of this video. It's a free download that I made. I put cute little graphics on all of them, and I have the right number of bubbles for the days of that month, and it's just super fun. And someone on Instagram told me that they are using theirs a little bit differently, and so they are using the colors to know how many minutes they knit that day. So like if they knit an hour, then they color it a different color than if they knit 2 hours that day. And I thought that was really cool. But the point for me was never to like track my own knitting, because that will drive myself crazy, I feel like. And so the point was really, for me personally, just to knit at least 15 minutes a day. So as long as you knit 15 minutes a day, on this first one in January, I'm just coloring them random colors, and that's kind of fun. But I'm kind of thinking like for February, I might do a pattern of like red and pink or something. And then, I don't know. So I kind of think I might theme the rest of them, because I got a little carried away in January and just started picking colors. And it got slightly confusing because what color do you use on what day anyway? So, so I think it will be kind of fun to do that. But so far, yeah, it's working great, just like it did last year. And some people have been saying like, oh, I do that anyway, and that's great. I'm super glad that you do. And I guess I do want to say I do this almost every day. And so I think that that's really the thing for me, is that increasing the number of days that happens. Sometimes life gets busy and I just get doing things, or I get stressed and I just stare into space instead of knitting. And I really want to practice picking up my needles and doing that. And so I think that that's the thing, because I would say I probably miss like 1 or 2 days a week. And then other days I get several hours to knit. And so I think it's just more for me about spreading out that consistency and keeping that throughout the year, no matter what is going on. I'm doing a lot of traveling this year, and so I really want to make sure that that stays consistent, that my knitting comes with me, and then I make that a priority to knit for 15 minutes a day as much as I can. So that is the first goal. So the other goal is inspirational skeins. So I'm definitely not going to do 12 skeins this year. I mean, let me go back. I'm not going to count the number of skeins I do. So it could be 12. It could be however many I would need it to be. Right now I was looking at my stash and I think it's only like 8 or so. And I probably just haven't pulled more out and put them in there. And some of them are in the, about to make them into projects category, which is not the same as the inspirational skein cubby. So, you know, but I really just want to keep up this theme of looking at my knitting and yarn as what is inspirational, because I think that that was a huge thing for me in 2025, was like really looking for inspiration. Because isn't that what the point is anyway? Like, we want to be inspired. We want to knit or to do your hobby, whatever it might be. Mine is definitely hardcore all the way knitting. And so I just really felt like that was a really cool sentiment to look at my hobby through the lens of. And so I'm going to kind of keep doing that. So I will show you a few of the skeins. This one is from last year. This is Charming You, and it's called Neon Nights. I still love it. The colors are really inspiring to me, of like what, like she was able to get all of these colors in here. I don't know how it's going to wind up yet, and so I don't know exactly what it's going to be. It might be kind of a shawl like this. This is my Katie shawl. It's all in mini skeins, but yeah, so it might be something really cool like that. I don't know yet, but definitely inspirational. I really like to look at this. These other 3 are all new this year. So this one I've had it for a few months now, but it's called Afternoon Tea. And it's from Salty Blonde. And the more you look at it, there is more orange in it. So it's blue, purple, teal, and some pinkish peach orange in there. And she dyed this as part of her advent in, I think it was 2024. And I could not wait for this skein to come out. Like, I saw the whole advent. I just needed this one skein. And so it's been really cool to see it in my stash and have it around. So we'll see what it decides it wants to be. My brain immediately just went, a Musselburgh, but that's what it says all the time. So we'll see. And then this one, so my sister actually picked this out. We have been ordering from Rainbows and Sprinkles in Australia. She has super soft yarn. My sister is obsessed with it. And she picked this one. She thought it was for her. It was not. And it turned out that it's perfect for me, and I love looking at it. It's called Twilight Symphony, and it just looks like a sunset. My sister calls these Katie sunsets because they have Katie colors in them. So I think that it worked out exactly the way it was supposed to. And then this last one is actually from Rhinebeck this year, and it's not really a color that I would expect. So it is from RMR Yarn Co. And I had never seen this yarn company before. They were at Indie Entangled, and this is definitely not in my normal wheelhouse, but something about it just absolutely speaks to me. I saw it from across the room and was like, it drew me in. I don't know what it is about this skein, but there's just a lot of power in it for me. And so I'm really excited to wind it. It's probably going to have, so it's kind of a half and half skein. So it's probably going to have some the shorter color runs to it. And so I'll have to find something that works with that and see what I can come up with. Maybe a cowl. I think I would really like having it close so that I can kind of see it. But yeah, so I think that this is kind of a good one too for inspirational skeins. So I have a few others out there, but these are the ones I brought in to show you. So these are what is inspiring me right now. So that's kind of the take that I'm going with. Those are my 2 knitting goals for the year. Do you have knitting goals for the year? I would love to hear about them and your thoughts about them and why you chose those and what you're hoping to gain from them and if they've changed at all yet. So anyway, all right, I will talk to you soon. Have a great week, everybody.